Okay, so picture this. The flashing lights, the red carpets, the endless demands to just always be on.
Total performance 2047. And then, all of a sudden, she vanishes.
An A-list actress, just gone. Trading that whole Hollywood scene for, the quiet of the mountains. It's a story everyone was ready to hear.
And the headline was everywhere. You couldn't miss it. Her escape from Hollywood wasn't what you think.
Welcome to Starscope Report.
We're Jordan and Jamie, and we uncover the stories behind the fame, from Hollywood drama to viral scandals.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into Ali Larter's huge viral moment. And as we found out, that story about escaping Hollywood, well, it was actually the perfectly designed strategy for her massive career comeback.
So the question really isn't, did she leave Hollywood? It's more like,
No.
was the story of her leaving the ultimate performance?
Let's get into it, because the way this was executed is honestly a masterclass.
It really is. I mean, when you start digging into the sources, you see that this narrative, Ali Larter escaping Hollywood, it didn't just happen. It didn't grow organically.
Right, it wasn't just, a rumor that started bubbling up on social media.
No, not at all. This was a full-on syndicated PR campaign. And it was rolled out with, military precision.
The headline was so specific, too. Landman star Ali Larter escaped to Idaho after Hollywood's many social demands. That was everywhere in mid-November 2025.
And it all started from one central interview with Fox News Digital. But here's the genius part. They took that one story and just amplified it.
Pushed it out everywhere.
Everywhere. The exact same article, sometimes verbatim, started showing up on dozens of totally random, unrelated local news sites.
Yeah, we saw it on places like the WQYA-FM, KibithaGeneral.com, even a food blog called Klamatheats.com.
And that's the tell, right? That repetition. It's designed to create this illusion of a massive, spontaneous cultural moment. Suddenly it feels like everyone is talking about it.
Because 50 different websites are running the same piece. And the timing is maybe the most crucial part.
But it's not a coincidence.
Not at all. All these articles, all the video clips, they all hit on November 14th and 15th, 2025. So why those 2 days specifically?
Because the season 2 premiere of her show, Landman,
Was on November 16th.
Exactly. The entire media storm was the lead-in promotion. It was designed to dominate the news cycle right as the show was dropping.
Okay, so let's break down the quote itself. Because the language she used is so strategic, she never criticized the work of being an actor.
No, never. Not the craft, not the long hours on set. She was very, very specific. She called out Hollywood's many social demands.
And she even defined what that meant. She said she was expected to show up for so many things, which she then said were just parties and charity events.
That framing is everything. It makes the problem sound so superficial, right? It's not the industry that's broken, it's just the party scene.
And then she gives this perfect, morally untouchable reason for rejecting it.
She sets up this simple, powerful conflict. Hollywood versus family. She says she and her husband turned all that down because, and this is the quote, they want to be with our children.
And that's the emotional hook. Instantly, she's not just an actress, she's a devoted mom putting her family first. It's a narrative no one can really argue with.
So effective. It's practically engineered to go viral. But, it does make you wonder if it's a little too perfect.
Maybe. But it worked. And that philosophical critique, that was the hook for 2025.
Yeah.
But the real story, the actual move, started years earlier for a much, much different reason.
That's right. If you're loving these Hollywood twists, by the way, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
So the original move to Idaho, that happened way back in 2020.
5 years before all those headlines. And it had nothing to do with escaping parties. It was driven by one thing.
The pandemic.
Exactly. COVID-19. The entire industry was shut down. Her husband, Hayes MacArthur, talked about it in some earlier interviews. Their kids were, stuck on screens with remote schooling.
A situation so many people could relate to. They were just looking for a solution.
So they packed up the car and just drove. The plan was never to leave Hollywood forever. It was supposed to be a temporary adventure.
I think they said for just 2 months, right? The whole goal was just to get their kids into an actual in-person school.
It was a practical decision. But then, they fell in love with the beauty of the mountains, and that short trip just became permanent.
And this is where you can really see the strategic pivot in the storytelling.
Oh, yeah. Let's just contrast the two narratives. In 2024, the story she was telling in lifestyle magazines was all about logistics, family, adapting to a crisis. It was positive, relatable.
A good story, for sure, but not a viral story. It lacked conflict.
Exactly. By 2025, that pandemic story was old news, so they needed a new hook, a more provocative one, and that's where the whole social demands critique comes in.
So the reason she gave in 2025 wasn't the actual reason for the move in 2020. It was a post facto justification.
A justification designed to create conflict, Hollywood versus family, and generate fresh headlines for the Landman premiere. It completely reframed her brand.
And that brings us to this, I think, fascinating paradox of curated authenticity. Because her escape from Hollywood, it wasn't a rejection of luxury. It was a complete rebranding of it.
A new aesthetic. You could call it Idaho chic.
Right. I mean, in the profile, she talks about the quiet grandness of the mountains, how it chills her out, how people in a small town look out for each other. It's the perfect antidote to LA.
But then you look at the photos of the house she built there.
And it's not exactly a rustic log cabin, is it?
Not at all. It's a stunning, high-design home. It has walls of glass, Italian marble countertops in the kitchen, these expensive bronze dome lights.
So the escape isn't from wealth or status. It's just moving that wealth and status to a place that feels more authentic.
It plugs right into that Hollywood exodus trope we've seen before. It makes a celebrity seem grounded and relatable.
While, at the same time, reminding everyone how successful they are. Because only the very wealthy can afford to build a custom home with Italian marble in Sun Valley and still have a major Hollywood career.
And stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next, because this is where the biggest irony of all comes into play.
Okay, so let's connect her personal brand back to her actual job.
Yeah.
The persona she's performing in interviews is Ali Larter, the authentic, grounded mom who rejected superficial parties.
Right. But the character she's promoting in Landman, Angela Norris, she is the absolute 100% opposite of that.
It's almost comical. Angela Norris is described as a force of nature who wears outlandish designer outfits and 5-inch heels.
This is a character whose most famous scene in the first season involved, what was it, taking a bus full of senior citizens to a strip club.
Yes. Can you imagine the whiplash? Going from this curated, chill mountain life to getting into the headspace of that character.
It's incredible. So she is literally performing authenticity.
To successfully promote her performance of a completely inauthentic character.
The escape itself is the performance. It's the branding tool that allows her to re-engage with the very industry she claims to have fled, but now with way more public interest.
So, to wrap this all up, this wasn't just about an actress moving. This was a masterclass in brand management.
A brilliant two-cycle strategy. Cycle 1 in 2024 builds the aspirational lifestyle brand. Stable, happy, successful.
And then Cycle 2 in 2025 injects the conflict, the rejection of Hollywood. That's what creates the viral news story needed for the big premiere.
So her escape to Idaho wasn't the end of her Hollywood story at all. It was the very sophisticated beginning of its next chapter.
She used the story of running away from Hollywood's social demands to command Hollywood's complete and total attention.
The ultimate performance was the story of the escape itself. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, how many other authentic celebrity changes we see are actually just incredibly smart promotional campaigns.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.